Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. I am in the lounge and they are preparing for the Levi's Under the Stars. I'm going to lift it up here. You'll see it's on all the screens up here under the lights. They're going to show us the new screens out on the Levi Stadium field. So we'll see those a little bit later this evening. But just want to give you a practice update. We watched the practice between the 49ers and the Denver Broncos, and I watched the defensive side. Matt Maiocco watched the offensive side. So I did get to see more of the defense. The big story of the day, obviously, is MYKEL Williams. He went down with a knee injury. He got tangled up at the line of scrimmage, fell down, was clutching his left knee. After a few moments, the 49ers trainers came over, made sure he was okay. He stood up and carefully walked over to the sidelines. And then a few moments later, he walked to the locker room. So good thing is that he's walking. Initial tests are saying that he hyperextended his knee. So he's going to be out for a couple weeks, maybe a week. He definitely is not going to play on Saturday, is what we believe, but he could return for the remainder of the preseason games, potentially. So MYKEL Williams kind of dodged a huge potential injury, and thankfully he will be back shortly. Outside of that, we saw quite a some good plays, especially by Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, your starters on defense. They played great snaps against the Broncos offense. Bo Nix actually has a great arm. Got to see him play. He made some really interesting throws, good throws. So a few crossbody, a few deep passes. I mean, the guy really has a strong arm, so it's fun to watch him. But on the defensive side, this defensive line is decimated by injuries. Sam Ekwonu has a groin injury. He's going to be out several weeks, a few weeks. Maybe by week one he'll be back. Maybe he'll be back by that third preseason game. Kevin Givens tore his pectoral muscle. He is out for a while. So I think he's going to have to potentially surgery, but that pectoral muscle, once it tears, it's a long recovery. So he probably will start the season on the PUP list and maybe be back mid-season at some point. Evan Anderson has a knee bruise. Could be a couple days, could be a week. Sometimes they heal quickly. Sometimes it takes them a while. So knee bruise for Evan Anderson. MYKEL Williams now sidelined for a little while. So they've got some new defensive linemen in Michael Dwumfor. There's the foghorn, if you hear that. Michael Dwumfor is a guy who they've had on the team before. They brought him in. He was actually already practicing versus the Broncos offense today. But Nick Bosa, I mean, he had a week off. He looked fresh. He looked like he was getting into the backfield regularly versus this Broncos offense. There was one play where Bo Nix was just like threw his hands up. He's like, all right, I'm sacked. But he was getting pushed. He was getting around. I also noticed on the defense a lot of exotic plays by Robert Saleh. There are not all their starters aren't ready. So I think they're using players, getting them used to having different assignments. So I've seen some blitzes, I've seen some stunts, I've seen some interesting things on the defense. Also seeing a lot of promising things from Upton Stout. I think he's the rookie of this class. He has been complimented by Fred Warner, by Christian McCaffrey, by offense, defense, coaching staff. Upton Stout did his research during the 40 days away. He really has become like the darling of training camp, if you want to, use those kind of cliche words. But Upton Stout has really shown what, and he's still a rookie in his first few weeks of training camp. So the potential for what Upton Stout can do, I think, is fantastic. And he's, hasn't missed time. He was there for rookie minicamp, OTAs, training camp now, and he's just going to get better. Every time I heard pads, hitting each other, slamming into each other, it was either Upton Stout in the run game, making a run tackle for a loss, or it was D. Winters. D. Winters was also very involved in the defense. He has been complimented for his coverage skills, which have gotten a lot better. That's something that Fred Warner does a lot. Fred Warner was very complimentary of D. Winters, just thinks he's had some flashes, and now we're seeing consistency. He said, what D. Winters, his biggest jump is his consistency. So good to see that from D. Winters. Saw some sacks from Bryce Huff, from CJ West, from Alfred Collins kind of got some push. So Jonathan Garvin got in the backfield, and that was with the threes. So this defense had some ups and downs. The one thing I would think is on their to-do list is cleaning up things that cause penalties. So in the 2 minute drill for the 49ers defense lasted probably 10 minutes. The Denver Broncos offense would move, they'd get pushed back, then there was a penalty. So every time the 49ers defense would seem to get a stop, there was either defensive holding, defensive pass interference, encroachment, all different kinds of mess on that defense. That was kind of the biggest challenge that I saw from them in that 2 minute drill. Outside of that, I think kind of an up and down, like, kind of a tide um, outcome for practice. Not the 49ers defense didn't dominate. They also didn't lose either. There were some short passes that Bo Nix was able to manage. Screens, dump offs, check downs. Those were things that, were what he utilized. There was also a few missed assignments here and there where there were big explosive plays because the receiver of the pass was wide open in the flat. And so there was so much green space in front of them. There's stuff to work on. That's what's great about these joint practices for the defense is that there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some stuff to work on. There's going to be stuff that works really well. As far as everything else, I didn't watch the offense, but I did see Ricky Pearsall and Demarcus Robinson have some great plays in the end zone. I was kind of in the end zone between the two fields. I did see Jake Moody kick. He kicked 6 times and made all 6 of them, but they weren't the complete solid kicks that you would want from your NFL kicker. The first one, the shortest one, I couldn't see the distance because it was all the way at the other end of the field. Looked like about a 25, 26-yard attempt, PAT type of thing. Doinked off the upright, went through, it was good. So that hit the left upright. Then he went back another 5 yards. He overcompensated. He almost hit the right upright. He kicked 4 more times. They moved him back every time. So the last one was probably 50 some yards. And he made all 4 of those much more towards the center. So Jake Moody, the only kicker on the roster, made all 6 of 6, but it wasn't without a little bit of stress. So as far as injuries go, those that I had mentioned, Renardo Green is still out. Jacob Cowing is still out. They hope to have those guys next week. I did see Diamond Lenore back in team drills, but just sparingly. This is one that's kind of hurting the running backs room. Jordan James broke his finger. He had surgery. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. So it's Christian McCaffrey, who looked fantastic at camp. Didn't get a whole lot in the run game, but check downs, choice routes, really looked good as far as I could see. So it's him. It is Patrick Taylor Jr. It is Amir Abdullah, and it is Corey Kiner. So those guys are going to be the guys you see on Saturday. Jordan James is not going to practice. He has looked good. But one thing that has been really kind of surprising to me is Amir Abdullah and how fast he is. 11th year in the league. Still has some speed, enough to get separation on a deep pass from Mac Jones. So those are the guys that you'll see out there on Saturday. Wide receiver wise, Ricky Pearsall looks great. Demarcus Robinson also looks great. Jordan Watkins, I heard, had a good day. I did see him catch a couple passes while I was looking, and I saw passes going towards the end zone. So we'll see how that shakes out also on Saturday. So outside of that, we've heard that most starters probably won't play much on Saturday. It'll be a lot of your second, third string guys, but it'll still be a fun game. If you're coming, definitely say hi. I'll be down in the field pregame, and I'll try to do another video tomorrow, which will be Friday, just kind of assessing the situation, what it's going to look like for Saturday's game. But I'll probably give you an update on this under the lights at Levi's. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of my stories and videos up there. Also, please follow and like and subscribe here. Thank you for watching. I'll give you all your updates through 49ers Training Camp here on this YouTube channel. I also am on Twitter and Threads and Blue Sky. So all the social media options, please follow, and I will talk to you soon and giving your training camp updates from 49ers camp.